Like them or hate them, and I think most of them do kind of more hate them, the deep state, you have to say one thing about them. That is that they never, ever give up. Every time we think that we have them licked, every time we think that we have them on the run, they come and give us another go. We've seen them take swings at President Trump, and we've seen them try to lock him up. We've seen them try to take him out. We've seen them try to take out some of our very best, some of our leaders, some of our most influential members that are trying to save America. And yet, what we found time and time again is that they failed, but they keep trying. And so this has me concerned that we got something coming shortly. We got the government shutdown happening. We got some growing problems in the supply chain out there. But more than that, it looks like we may be gearing up for another fight. We're going to walk you through some of the thoughts that I have about what I'm seeing going on out there. I'm kind of in a bit of a unique position. I'm constantly seeing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of your reports. I'm constantly keeping an eye on what's going on all the news sites. Some of the news sites I keep track of that I don't necessarily always share on this channel. I know a good bit about what's going on there, and I have a lot of you guys feeding me what's going on out there too and what you think is going on out there, and lots of information. So I'm going to try to walk you through some of the things that kind of have me feeling like something is coming. I don't have specifics on this, but we're seeing some troubling signs. I'm going to connect some dots for you. First thing that I'm kind of seeing some issues related to is over in Europe. We are seeing that several of these European countries seem to be gearing up for war, and that's concerning. Now, they want a European army, granted. They're telling their hospitals to be preparing for mass casualties. They're mobilizing their militaries like we haven't seen them do in many years. Military activities and training operations. These things are all at much higher tempos. Also, all the European countries seem to be really doing a hard push to increase their manpower, their personnel. They're hiring. And they are going recruitment-wise after a lot more people. When you start putting these things together and then you start putting this with some of their policies and some of the things that their politicians are speaking on, they really seem to be indicating that they want to get involved in Ukraine. And they really are chomping at the bit to get into a shooting war with Russia. And that's concerning. That's very concerning. I know President Trump is very not on board with that, but it seems like the European leaders seem dead set on somehow trapping President Trump and the United States into a war with Russia. And it just seems like they seem to be preparing for some sort of false flag event or some other way to instigate a fight with Russia. There's lots of ways they can do that, and while they may be pretty incoherent sometimes, the Europeans do have enough brain cells to rub together to figure out how to do some sort of entrapment movement that will draw the United States into a conflict over there. All right, that's kind of, I think that's pretty clear that that's what's happening over there. Now, what else is happening? The deep state in the United States, they are rallying around former FBI Director Comey. This is a big deal. This isn't quite as big deal as the E list, but this is almost the E list. If President Trump can get a conviction on FBI Director Comey, this is really going to indicate that basically the Russian collusion narrative was all one big scam. So the deep state can't have that happen. So what are they going to do? They're going to either have to distract us or somehow get it so that he gets off on a technicality, or doesn't matter. He just cannot go to jail for this. He can go to jail for something else, but a plea deal may be coming, some sort of, I don't know. Expect some squirreliness on that. and with the rising violence from the far left against conservatives, against libertarians, we're all far right now, apparently. So even if you used to be a leftist, even if you used to be a liberal Democrat, you might now be considered a far right conservative. Someone was just posting up a video of President Bill Clinton talking about immigration and enforcement at the southern border. And wow, oh wow, does he sound like Donald Trump. It's pretty amazing. Bill Clinton would have been a MAGA Republican these days. I know, it's hard to believe, but given his policies and what he did, he would probably be on our side. I know, I hate that too. But anyway, it just goes to show how absolutely insane this drift in our entire country has been these last number of years. The likes of President Trump being a Republican, a conservative Republican, is kind of a hard pill to swallow. If someone was traveling here from the 1990s, they would have a hard time being convinced of that too, right? So we have all that kind of happening. Are we going to see more attacks on conservatives? Are we going to see more attacks on by these leftist groups? I think we are, because President Trump has twisted the screws on Antifa and these other leftist groups that have been advocating violence. And these groups are now starting to feel themselves under investigation, scrutiny by the FBI as well as other agencies. What happens when you corner a dangerous animal? They can lash out. They can become more dangerous. And I think with these groups, some of their activities that they have planned to do long run, they may try to launch those things relatively early or soon because they feel like they may not have any time to do that in the future. So this is, I think we need to be careful out there. We may see more people who are not right in the head doing things that they really ought not to do that may harm many people. So I think that those are definitely things that we could see. And what happens when we have one or two more of those? Is the backlash going to be so strong that President Trump and other agencies maybe go too far in going after these groups? Can you go too far in going after these groups? Well, taking away people's rights under any guise is not a good idea. And I think that free speech should be allowed. I think that we should not absolutely get rid of free speech, and we should not get rid of privacy either. We should not use these attacks as a justification to take away people's rights, whether they're bad people or good people, right? You can't take away just bad people's rights. What you do is you take away everybody's rights, and then supposedly only the bad people suffer for that. But that's not how it works. It always becomes political targeting at some point by somebody. If the Trump administration does this and then the Democrats get back in control, they can turn these type of tools against us, okay? So, I don't know. I don't know if that we can live in a country alongside a lot of these people that are advocating violence, that they want to leave the country. They want to change the country fundamentally. And I think that we should have some serious talks about them leaving the country. They need to go have their own little California republic over there where they can do all their crazy, wacky, nasty things, and they can find out that it will work just about as well as it worked down in Cuba, or Venezuela, or Soviet Russia, or all the other places that communism has been tried and has failed. Anyway, New York is going down that path, and that's going to get a little scary over there for sure too. things are moving generally in the right direction, but there's enough undercurrents going the opposite direction. There's enough momentum within some of these organizations, companies, and even agencies that I don't know that these things will be able to be fully reversible. So what happens next? I don't know. I don't know that we can really climb back up the mountain that we've slid down. The slippery slope has taken us quite a ways, and to climb back up all that way is so much harder than sliding down. And I don't know that we can undo much of what has been done. And yeah, there's certainly a whole bunch of things that that people don't want undone. Redefining marriage, that's probably not going to be fixed. That's probably the way it is going to be in the United States for the future. All sorts of things that we've lost, the battles we've lost in our culture. Will we ever see an end to abortion in the United States? I don't know that we will. That's truly troubling there too. There's a lot of things that I think that a lot of us would like to see, but realize that we may not ever see. Supply chain wise, one of the big things we're seeing here is we're seeing a lot more produce coming in from overseas. Whether it's just a one-off this year or whether it's more systemic issues, we're seeing produce grown in the United States was significantly lower in quality, significantly lower in quantity, leading us to have to import a lot more fruit and vegetables from other countries than we have in the past. And some of our best suppliers down in Mexico did not deliver this year. So we had to go to second and third options. A lot of fruit and vegetables had to be brought in frozen or from longer distances, and the quality is showing on the store shelves. The produce is costing more, and it's worse. And that's just kind of what we're seeing. We're also seeing some, we're still seeing a fair bit of availability of most things. So they have been doing a good job sourcing these things, but it's just the quality has been the thing that's been suffering the most. The quality and the prices going up through the roof. So supply chain there, but then also we're seeing other issues with the meat facilities. They are not producing the right cuts of beef, and we're seeing the American consumer changing its spending habits. People are moving away from more expensive cuts of beef towards the cheaper cuts of beef. We're also seeing people making some changes, whether they want to go over to pork or whether they want to go over to chicken, and that's causing some chicken shortages out there. There's just not enough chickens to go around right now, and that's not due to bird flu anymore. That's really just the fact that people want more chicken because they can't afford beef. People are shifting over to pork a little bit more. We're not seeing too much of a pivot towards that right now, but what we're seeing is as the supplies of beef go down significantly, we are seeing, and the prices are starting to go up, we're seeing Americans pivoting away from beef. Which is creating an interesting dynamic that the prime cuts of beef are actually, they're having a hard time moving them. And so they don't really know what to do about that, and they're going to have to start increasing the price on lower cuts of beef, and they're going to have to start lowering prices on the more expensive cuts of beef. So if you like certain cuts of beef that are more expensive, you might actually start seeing some sales out there. And check out discounts at different places that mark day-old beef down because you'll see that they are definitely doing that because people just aren't buying the more expensive cuts right now. If you're looking for the cheaper cuts of beef, you're going to be fighting more and more people for that. So be aware of that. So we got prices on canned goods also increasing, and availability of canned goods are disappearing. That's part of the new generation coming out. People just don't eat as much canned goods. And so stores are not stocking the canned goods like they used to. We're seeing canned goods sections shrinking. We're seeing rice sections shrinking. We're seeing rice disappearing even in a bunch of places. So whether that's because people are getting stocked up or whether it's more just the stores are not doing a good job stocking it. That's what's happening out there as well. Those are some things that I'm seeing out there. What do you guys see? What major trends are you seeing that you're worried about, that you're concerned about, that have you a little bit on edge? I feel like this fall is going to get a little bit squirrely for us. And as we go into winter, it seems like there's going to be some geopolitical events that really kind of change our understanding of the world. So I'm a little nervous about what's going to happen this fall and winter. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. But appreciate all of you being part of the Watchman community. We'll keep you guys posted with all the reports coming out. And we'll keep moving forward together, getting more prepared and getting more resilient as we go. All right, friends, thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.